Good morning, Goldie here. Now, I just wanted to share something that I've been doing this thing for a while now. That whatever I'm going to talk about, this is the mod for all of you who have, let's say, a Les Paul style guitar or something with a Tunomatic bridge, right? And if you're having this problem like I used to have, where the strings you'd be playing and then your strings would be snapping right at the bridge, right? Expensive strings, your favorite strings, whatever it is. You just strung it on and then it's supposed to last you a few days or weeks in your case, and it's supposed to be, but for some reason it just snaps in a few days and you're thinking, what the hell? And you restring it, it must be the defect set, you're thinking. And then you restring it, similar thing happens, right? And then you put the problem not to defective strings now. Now your next suspect is the bridge, of course, naturally, because you see it snapping there. So what I did, some of you already know this, of course, but some of you are still suffering from this. So let me give you something that might help you. So listen carefully. So you can buy yourself roller bridges with Tunomatic saddles. Tunomatic bridges with the roller saddles. Just to give you a closer look. Can you see the saddles? Right? When you have a look at, they're pretty common on eBay, thank goodness. And if you shop online for it, you look for it online, it's not hard to find, and they're pretty cheap too. Now, even if I had a Gibson or some kind of expensive guitar and that problem was happening to me, I would definitely change it to this anyway. Oh, it's an expensive guitar, but you're gonna put some cheap part. Bro, it's not like you're putting a wooden saddle in there or a wooden bridge. It's still gonna be metal. It's still gonna be pretty good in the overall big picture. You probably won't notice it too much if you're not, let's say, if you're not gonna be overthinking it. And the long-term practicality, I suppose, is you're gonna like the, I suppose you would say, the cost savings, because when I changed into the roller saddles, roller Tunomatic, it saved me a lot of string breakages. And also, in conjunction with the string, the Tunomatic, the roller Tunomatic, you can probably see that I've raised up the stop tail piece there. See the gap? That's quite a big gap there. It's not like a normal, you look at a Gibson or a Epiphone, it's all the way down to the body there. Okay? What that does, the way I see it, I'm just a simple guy, okay? You're the expert, aren't you? But the way I see it, as a simple guy, okay? Did you get that point yet? Is that when it's all the way down, it puts too much of a break angle, and I think that contributes to the string breaking here. So even if you have, I remember even when I had the roller saddles, it would still break on the bridgehead because of the break angle, I suspect anyway. All right, calm down. Let me remind you, I'm just a simple guy who makes observations and then acts on them, let's say. And some people say, oh, well, it's not enough break angle, it's not going to be system. According to my simple man observations, if the break angle from here to here is going to be the same as here anyway, right? From the break angle past the nut, you'll find that you don't need as much break angle anyway. I think I remember when I was experimenting with this, I basically just matched the break angle of the bridge of the, past the saddle to what's the break angle past the nut, and it still works. It's the guitar rings. It's still going. If you listen closely, I don't know if you can hear that, but this guitar is one of my best sustaining guitars. But I mean, I don't have much guitars now because I've sold some of my older ones. I do have PRSs, but this is still pretty good. It holds its own. Keeps on ringing. I can feel. If you don't hear it, I can feel the body. It's barely. I think it's barely ringing now. If I plugged an amp with distortion, you probably hear a little bit, but who knows. And I think it sustains more than my ESP LTD M1000, which is, it's supposed to be a neck through, right? Neck through equals sustain. I don't know, bro. It probably depends on how well the wood resonates. I want to talk about that tone wood stuff too later on. But for now, I want to share this information about Tune-o-matic. Now luckily there's different types of Tune-o-matic, roller Tune-o-matics. The ones with the Nashville with the small screw holes there. This is the Epiphone style. You can get the Nashville one, so that the Gibson's used with a smaller screw hole. And you can choose to experiment. They're about maybe, what is it? It's gonna be 20 or 10 US or something, 10 US dollars or somewhere around there, 10 to 15, right? If you're wondering what this is, some of you who've seen my videos are familiar with this. I've talked about this in another video. This is a Tanglewood TSB, Tango Sierra Bravo TSB 58. And the frets on these are probably equivalent in size to what you would see on an ESP. Let me have it focus. This guitar is made in Taiwan, and it's not focusing, it's probably too close. It's made in Taiwan. Look at that. They're big fret, and these frets, when I bought this guitar, there was one low fret, so the frets had to be leveled. Under warranty, they had to be leveled, so they're supposed to be smaller than what it comes from the factory. How else can I make this visible? They're pretty big. They're pretty big. You would put your finger on to press. You see, you're barely touching the fretboard. You're touching a tiny bit probably. You can kind of see it there. These are big frets, and the good thing about these frets as well is that they're almost like stainless. They're not stainless, but they're better than the nickel frets because they've never tarnished. I've never had to polish these frets. I polished them once before just to try what happens, and there's barely any difference because they just stay shiny. I don't know. I emailed Tanglewood about this, see what their material is. Some kind of composite that they said, metal, some kind of alloy, but it's not stainless. It's because I know there's I can see some wear from where I commonly play it, but that also probably contributes to the good sustain of this guitar, despite the roller Tune-o-matic, which probably doesn't because really the string is, as you tension the string, it's pushing down on the saddle anyway, so it's gonna, stabilize it, I suppose. So you might want to give it a try because it might save you some money, some headaches, especially live. So you've probably seen some people, they they do the whole wrap around on the stop tail piece here. They wrap it around. I tried that before, the stop tail being lower and then just wrap around. I think I don't remember why I opted for this way. You know, string it through and then just raise it up to get the same effect as the quote unquote appropriate brake angle. So that's probably I'll just tell you, I mean, when it matters, it doesn't really, it's not that, not that the little difference is probably negligible when it matters. Like when you're in a gig rocking out, and then, or loud volumes, any difference in the sound, you've got to be EQing it anyway. Just like if the room fills in with a crowd, you got to do some EQing anyway. And there's a lot of factors, and then that's affecting your tone. Just use the EQ. Just use the EQ, right? I know I've been rambling on about the Tune-o-matic, the roller Tune-o-matics. I can never say it right for some reason, but they have been pretty crucial for me. I was having a bit of a problem with my PRS, with breaking strings on the bridge as well, but because it's not a Tune-o-matic, there was still a solution. I just sanded out, really smoothen the saddles where the strings sit, and it's been so far so good. It's a brass saddle, I think. But there's something else I was gonna say about these roller Tune-o-matics. Meanwhile, we can admire this. I put BG Pops Pure 90 on this. Pretty good sounding P90 style pickups in a humbucker housing, and I put black pickup surrounds on it so that it looks like a proper P90, right? And it's compared to if it's a cream pickup cover, it looks like you have a full P90. That sounds good. Yeah. I don't remember what it is that I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I think I remember now. But yeah, I did have that phase where I was experimenting with different bridges for this guitar to minimize the string breakage at the bridge. I don't remember if I tried the ones with some special brass saddles on a special Tune-o-matic bridge, but maybe I should try those. But so far this has been really, really good. Because I use Elixir strings, Elixir OptiWeb, and they're not cheap strings, man. So for strings to last as long as they can, Elixirs especially, because they don't corrode, because my sweat is very corrosive to strings, and then in just a few days they get all rough, and then it feels disgusting to play on your fingers because it's just rough. You just feel like you're picking up rust on your fingertips, and then who knows where you're gonna put those fingertips. You're probably gonna rub your eye and put it in. You know what I'm talking about, man. But Elixir is my preferred string. For the studio, of course, I'll use some other, the D'Addario or Ernie Ball non-coated, but for my practicing and all, everyday use at home, rehearsal, Elixir, and I need them to last longer because, again, they're not cheap. And so, roller Tune-o-matics or roller saddles, guys, check them out, give them a chance. Even if you're a Gibson guy, or even if you have, like I said, even if I had historic Gibson Murphy Lab kind of thing, if it's snapping strings, I'm changing that thing out because it's very easy. One thing you need to remember is it's very easily reversible. All right, don't forget that. Use your brain. And so it's not going to decrease the value, but it is going to increase your savings on strings. You get me? So that's enough for now. Think about your replies first. Okay? I'm just a simple guy. You're the expert, aren't you?